Welcome back to the dojo, y'all. Welcome back to the daily discussions. I'm your host, Professor Hawk Sensei, and I'm glad you're tuning in. I'm glad you can make it. The topic of discussion for today: can't run from your problems. No, you can't run from your problems. Don't even try it. The reason why I want to bring this to your attention today, this phrase, can't run from your problems, because karma's a bitch. What goes around comes around. What goes up must come down, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's why you can't run from your problems. And another reason, sometimes problems just have a way of finding you. Some of us just draw trouble and problems to us like nobody's business. Right? Life, in and of itself, can be a problem. Sometimes life can be difficult. Life can be a struggle. Sometimes you don't really know which way to go, or nothing really makes sense. So it becomes a problem trying to navigate through life, or trying to figure out what the next step is. You know what I mean? Life can really just be one big problem. But are you going to run from life? There are some people who have done that. There are some people who have control alt deleted their life program. You know what I mean? So you gotta face your fears. You gotta deal with your problems head on. Because no matter how far you want to run from them, they still gonna find you. They still gonna find you. They track you. It's like a homing device, like a homing missile. You could run to the ends of the earth, and it's still gonna come after you. So, if we can't run from our problems, if we don't want to spend the rest of our life sprinting for our lives, we gotta face our problems. We gotta deal with them. We gotta nip them in the bud. We gotta conquer them, right? And if you've lived long enough, you've solved, conquered, overcame many problems, because life just has a way of just feeding them out to you, right? But if you've lived long enough, you've overcome a lot of problems. And you've more than likely come to realize when problems arise, or you get a whiff thereof, you want to nip it in the bud. You want to deal with it as soon as possible. Putting it off and saying, oh, it ain't going to matter. Oh, I'll just wait till it go away. Can't do that. You learn through life that you cannot do that. You might have a pain or ache in your leg or something. You know what I mean? Oh, it'll go away. Next thing you know, it's just, it done flared up. The pain is excruciating, and you gotta go to the doctor. Doctor talking about they gotta amputate your leg. Gotta nip it in the bud, man. Gotta nip it in the bud. Been dealing with a bully, dealing with somebody getting on your nerves, always picking on you. And because you don't deal with the problem, you just keep having to deal with it. You know what I mean? It seems like through life, we keep finding ourselves in the same situations. Why is that? You ever just been living life, right? You went through some trials and tribulations when you were younger. Then you find yourself going through the same situation. It's just, maybe it's in a different place, maybe a couple different faces, a couple different places, but it's the same problem. It's the same situation. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's because we haven't learned our lesson, whatever lesson that may be. We haven't figured it out. Whatever the problem is, it hasn't been solved. Maybe it wasn't a big grandeur problem. It might have been a problem that was dormant, and then it woke up and became malicious. You know what I mean? You never know. So, like I said before, when problems arise, or you get a hint or whiff thereof, you want to nip it in the bud right then and there. Because, yeah, you might have dealt with this problem, you might have conquered that one, but there's another one on the way. There's another one on the way. That's why you want to just deal with them when they come. Because you like, all right, I'm going to go ahead. All right, I dealt with that. I'm good for now. Until the next problem rear its ugly head. You know what I mean? They going to come. They going to come. 9 times out of 10, they going to come when you least expect it. When you chilling and maxing, relaxing, all cool. You know what I mean? We in Will Smith's internet now. But yeah, man. You gotta deal with your problems. Don't run from them. The more you run from your problems, the more they're gonna chase you. And the more time you waste. And you may even lose preparedness. You may even lose readiness. Your problem may become invisible for years. Then out of nowhere, hit you like a ton of bricks. Hit you like a ton of bricks. I can give you a couple examples, but we ain't gotta go there. Especially if you ever had warrants, man, that was years ago. Okay, all right. That's what I'm saying, man. Gotta deal with your problems, or if you ain't gonna deal with them, you gotta get so far away that it ain't gonna matter. You can do that, but that's gonna be determined by the severity of the problem. How big of a problem is it? If it's not big of a problem, you can just walk away from it. You know what I mean? If it ain't that big of a deal, you can just say, man, whatever. Walk away. That ain't really a problem. That's not really a problem. That may be something you disagree with or you're unhappy with. Something that is unsatisfactory. It's not really a problem. Minor inconveniences are not problems. I'll say it again. Minor inconveniences are not problems. Something that you can just ignore, walk away from, toss. You don't got time to worry about little issues. You don't got time to worry about other people's problems. That's one thing you can do when it comes to other people's problems. You can run from their problems because their problems are not yours. I ain't responsible for none of that. I ain't got my name on it. When I ain't been in it, I ain't in it. You go ahead and take care of that. That's all on you. I'll be on my way. Take my leave. Right? So, when we talk about you can't run from your problems, you can't. It's your problem. Whether you caused it or it came looking for you, you gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with it. Now, the older you get, the more wise you get. You may get more, what's the word I want to use? You may get more tactical with the way you go about handling and dealing with your problems. Right? You realize as you get older, there's a million ways to skin a cat. You ain't gotta deal with it the same way every time. Sometimes, like I said in another video, you can get a second opinion. See what somebody else think about it. Brainstorming. Ain't that what they told us to do in school? Brainstorming. Get with somebody else. Then how can we overcome this? How can we deal with this? That is, of course, if it's a problem that they also are familiar with, or problems that they've dealt with or are dealing with. You don't want to just give your problems to other people. That's not dealing with them. That ain't really running from them, but that ain't dealing with it. You ain't gonna learn nothing. So if you give your problems to somebody else and they deal with it, then if that problem arises again, now you up the creek. You don't know what to do. You know, that person is nowhere around, nowhere to be found. Now you gotta deal with this issue all on your own. What do? Call somebody else? Maybe. Call a professional? Hey, you could do that, but you gotta have money for that. Gotta have money for that. You can throw money. You can throw money at your problems. That can solve them, but how much money do you really got to throw? Because that's what it is. You're throwing it away. How much money you really got to throw at your problems? So, we go back into subject matter, topic of discussion. Can't run from your problems. Gotta deal with them. Come hell or high water. Gotta deal with them. Why? Because they are your problems. I ain't really got to go too deep with this one. This is just a simple reminder. Can't run from the problems. So don't try. Take care of them. Ain't gotta be today, ain't gotta be tomorrow. But eventually, gotta take care of your problems. That being said, Professor Hawk signing out. Hawk Sensei, but you do. Hope you're waking up every day with a plan, a purpose, and a smile. You're not waking up with a plan, purpose, and a smile. At least you're waking up. Till next time, guys. Class dismissed.